Hey guys, so since I've redone this nightstand right here, I'm not liking the coasters, so I'm actually going to do a do-it-yourself coaster in this video. As you can see, this one does not match, and I just need something that matches a little bit better because it's driving me crazy and I like things to match, which we're also going to be getting like a new bed set too because that's driving me crazy as well. Anyways, on to the video. Coaster was originally from the dollar store. All I did was sand down the sides completely, and then I sanded down the top just enough to get all the shine off of it because the paint wouldn't stick. I'm using white paint, and I'm going to paint over this with the white paint. I'm going to do the tops and the sides, and I'm going to let it dry. I think I allowed it to dry for like, let's see, like probably 15-20 minutes. It actually didn't take very long. I probably could have done it sooner. But yeah, it didn't take very long to dry. Okay, and here we're getting ready to do the second coat of paint. I'm making sure, as you could see that little mark right there, I'm trying to go over it really well. I don't know how I missed that in the first place. But anyways, this time I'm trying to get it really well because as you could see at the beginning of the video, the material you could still see, or the rope, you could still see the white through it because I wanted it to kind of be showing through. So this second time, I'm just making sure to hit it really well and make sure there isn't any like translucent spots that you could see through since I didn't sand it down completely. If you were to sand this down completely down on the top, you wouldn't have to worry about this, but unfortunately, I didn't. Sorry about the noise in this one, but I'm just showing you that I have this done and the rope, and then I'm using a glue gun. And I'm also going to be using E6000 glue, which I'm putting a little dot down, and then I'm also going to put the hot glue there as well. I'm doing both because the E6000 does not dry right away as fast as the glue gun, and the glue gun just kind of like helps to hold it so you don't have to worry about that. Again, sorry about the noise in the background. I'm actually watching Supernatural and I couldn't get the sound off this one, so I apologize. Anyways, I'm just showing you that I'm gluing the first part of the rope down. And then I feel like I should have just unraveled a lot of this before I actually started. And unfortunately, I did not do that, so I'm doing it right now. But now all I did was I'm going to keep going around and around. And one thing I want to point out that I didn't specifically do was you don't want to overlap them. And I did end up overlapping them because of how I started out. The reason for this is when you overlap them, when you set your coaster down, it's going to be completely uneven. Mine's fine, but it's definitely not even. But it's, you know, since the rope's on the bottom of it, I feel like it holds it enough on the table to where it's like, it's not an issue basically. But just make sure if you do this that you're not overlapping them because the finished product will be a lot nicer. So here I'm just showing you guys I'm almost done, and I'm also leaving spaces in between some of the rope because I like the look of it. I really wanted some of the white still showing through, which is, you know, why I painted it. Anyways, I'm getting almost to the very end, and once I do, I'm going to cut this piece and glue it on the back because obviously you don't want to be gluing it on the front. You don't want to be able to see it on the front of it. So here I'm just showing you that I'm taking my E6000 glue and I'm also going to be using a glue gun. And I'm going to put the rope, I'm going to lay it down right on top of that. And I'm using my scissors to go over it because the glue is clearly hot. And then I'm doing it again just to make sure it's secure. Make sure if you guys do this, you do it on the side and not on the top like I did. And here I'm just going to be using gold acrylic paint and then a smaller paintbrush. I feel like any one you have will do, but the ones that are flat just, you know, obviously would work best for this. And I'm just painting the sides. I ended up doing the sides on both sides. I ended up doing it 3 times. I don't know if I didn't stir my paint well enough or what, guys, but it just didn't show up that well. So I did end up doing it 3 times. So here I'm just showing you that I'm taking my pair of scissors and I'm just kind of cutting all like the fuzzies that are sticking out from the rope with this type of material that just happens, and it was kind of getting stuck on the sides when I was painting and I didn't like how it looked. So yeah, just go ahead and cut them off and it'll look a lot better. And here I'm just showing you that I'm taking my gold acrylic paint again, and I'm painting this a second time. I did not record the third time, so I just want to let you know I did have to do it a third time. I feel like if you stir it up good enough though, or if you're just using like a small container, I actually had a quart of this. So I feel like if you're using those small containers from like Micheals or Joann's or wherever, it'll probably go on a lot nicer, and you probably won't have to do 3 and you'll only have to do 2. Okay guys, so finally the fun part. So I got these pearls from Amazon.com, and I'm just showing you that I'm measuring it out because I want to actually glue them to the sides and not the bottom, because if I glue them to the bottom it would make it uneven, although at this point I had already made mine a little bit uneven. Anyways, I'm just going to cut it exactly where I need it. And then I ended up just gluing it down with the E6000 on the sides. And then I'm also and I used a glue gun just so it would stick until it dried, just like I did with the rope. And I'm going to be doing the same thing with these little gems that I actually got from Amazon.com as well. They're really cheap. I actually only used the E6000 on those though. So I'm actually using a Q-tip because I had to, in the beginning, actually like cut the top off of my glue because it was stuck and it wouldn't come off. I don't know what happened. Anyways, I am using a little Q-tip to stick it down, and then I'm just sticking the gems right on top of those. And then later on, you'll see I actually, here in a minute, I think I use it next. I don't know. Let's see. No, I guess not this time. Anyways, guys, I end up using the glue gun as well because I feel like you can use any glue. It doesn't really matter as long as it's going to stick, because now we're to the point where it's just sitting there and I'm going to set it and I'm going to leave it dry without, you know, picking it up or touching it. So any kind of glue will work basically. And now I'm just showing you, I'm kind of just finishing off with the glue gun and putting it down. The one thing I wish I would have done, I wish I would have just took a bunch of gems and like did it the whole way across, but I ended up spacing it. We are to the end and it turned out perfect. And the best part is I now have a matching coaster on top of my nightstand. I'm so happy with this. I love how it turned out. It looks really nice on top of our nightstand now. It looks a lot nicer than it did before.